Poitiers. Some 10 years after Crécy, and a month or so, we have the French catching the English once more in a position where the English were able to pick their terrain. That terrain in particular, a swamp guarding their left flank, a rise, and perhaps a hedgerow. And then they were able to dig some entrenchment to protect their right flank. Put their wagons behind that. The English again dismounted. No pike here, just longbow and dismounted knights. What about the French battles? Well, they came in 4 battles actually, but we've only got 3 of them on the map. The king is some ways away. Because of the lessons learned at Crécy, or because perhaps they just didn't want to fight mounted against the defended position, they choose to dismount 3 of their 4 battles, the back 3. So what you've got is a bunch of dismounted men-at-arms against the Dauphin and against the very young Duke of Orleans. Historically, the Duke of Orleans fled the battle before he actually engaged, when he saw the carnage in front of him, and then the king engaged afterwards. There are rules to help reflect that. There's also the chivalry rules, which affect the mounted knights, which are the Germans, as well as the personal contingents of the 2 marshals of France who were supposedly commanding that first battle. And like all good commanders, charged out in front to get killed first. So they're on their own special command as the 2 marshals, whereas behind them, some random German count, Saarbrücken, is given the command of that particular battle. What am I going to try to do? Again, within the rules, I'm going to make an attempt. Within the historical rules, I'm going to make an attempt to violate history a little bit. What I want to do is I want to try to avoid clashing with those German knights. I can't do a thing about the 2 marshals. They have to charge forward. I'm going to write them off as lost. I know what happened in the historical scenario. So I'm going to try to hold the German knights back, maybe pull them off to the side a little, and bring the dismounted knights forward. In particular, I'm going to bring the Duke of Orleans up forward first, because if he sees enough casualties on the field, he will run before engaging. So I want to make sure that I get the most use out of his troops that I can. That's my strategy. Is that kind of misusing the system? Well, maybe, but I feel like that's sort of part of the challenge when you're handed a set of historical rules. I mean, one option with the game is to ignore the historical rules entirely and let the French player decide what he wants to deploy, etc. I think cavalry is very valuable. I don't think you want it hitting first. You want it to exploit once there's some breaks in the line. I saw that before with the Genoese crossbowmen. They were able to open things up at Crécy. So I'm hoping to do the same thing here. I'm not just trying to replay the battle, even if I've got the same historical situation. All right, I think that's all I can say right now.